Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about University of West England Bristol. And basically the reason we're going to do these kind of short introduction videos in the next couple of weeks is because, well, the UCAS deadline is very close. It's 15th January, if you didn't know. And a lot of you, I'm pretty sure, have not made the final decision in terms of universities or are still, a little bit struggling with finding the right course, the right university, or you made most of your choices, but there's still like one or two, that you're kind of not sure about. And basically that is why I'm going to tell you about a couple of the universities that I think are very, very good and you should consider them. And so I think every week we have two kind of live streams where you can listen to me talk about them. And yeah, the video will remain here on YouTube, so you can always come back and check it out. Our contact information, so the Student Financial Support Fund, this is the organization that does these videos. I'm pretty sure you can tell that that is us from the channel name. We help students to go, study abroad, and also we provide financial help. And we help to apply to go study abroad, and that is why, because the deadline's approaching, I'm talking about these universities. So, if you're interested, you can get in touch with us, and we can start your application as soon as possible. And, it can be done very quickly with us because all of our staff, we're very professional. Most of us studied actually abroad. So, everything that we do, we already went through. Plus, when we give advice to students, the advice does come from personal experience. Some of us study in England, for example, me. We have people who study in Netherlands. We have people who study in Denmark. So, we're not going to say anything that won't be helpful, and we will not recommend anything that we personally did not experience. And we would not recommend anything that would not suit you. So even the universities that I'm talking about, I've met a lot of students from those universities. I've met the staff from those universities. So I do know there are great universities. And if I was and our organization was not 100% sure of what we're, let's say, are talking about, we would not just talk about that. So yes, all of our contact information should be like below there. Our email, so there's our general one. I think there's our Polish and Finnish. We also do work in Latvia. We have some representatives in other countries. So, get in touch and we can have a consultation in person. So if we're in the same country, or we can always have it by Skype. It's free of charge. So like our services are completely free of charge. The only thing is, if you want to apply, you do have to go through with the application because otherwise it's a bit of a, not a good situation. So yes, and if you want a Skype consultation, it will be in English, so you do have to be aware of that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep these like seminars, webinars, live streams as kind of short as I can. I'm aiming to do them for like maximum 15 minutes. I might go a little bit overboard. But at the moment, as you can see, that these videos are very boring. We don't have anything here, like no pictures. We will have them soon, but just the issue is because the deadline is approaching and we don't have that much time to edit everything and make it a bit nicer. But don't worry, we'll do that very soon, and our videos will be very entertaining. But because at the moment they're not as entertaining, they're going to be a bit shorter. Okay. So I do have some text prepared, and it's on this side. So sometimes I will be looking here because you do know, like, there's quite a lot of information there, and not to mess up something, I don't want to, give you the wrong information. So yeah, today we will be talking about University of West England, Bristol. So it is in Bristol. Bristol is a city in England. It's very close to Wales. So it is like picturesque, let's call it like that. Like the countryside is amazing there. The city itself is very vibrant. Like the nightlife is amazing. The industry is like only growing and growing there. Like BBC has one of their headquarters there now. Lloyd's Bank has one of their headquarters there now as well. So it's a very thriving city. The cultures they're amazing. It's Bristol is one of like hidden gems of England. It's a city that, as a tourist, you probably it's not the first place you're going to think about, but when you're actually in England already, you will realize how amazing that place is, and you would want to visit. But this university is already there, so you can just live there. Okay. Oh yes, this university is considered to be, no, sorry, not university, Bristol, the city, is considered to be one of the best cities to live and study in by, well, by the Times newspaper. So, you should check it out. Like, if you've never heard of Bristol, Google it, look at some images, watch some videos. It is a great city. There's a lot of things happening. They have all the shops, all the cafes. There's different festivals happening there. A lot of actually British TV series are filmed there, like Sherlock, Doctor Who, Skins. So you've probably even seen bits of the city. Okay. So, and now let's talk a little bit about the university. So first of all, I would like to tell you about some of the subjects that they have. And I'm only gonna kind of introduce you or like just mention some of the subjects that I think are interesting, or at least they are kind of, not all of the universities have them. Of course, this university also has business studies, different types of business related studies like financing, economics, banking, international business. So there's different types. I don't have the whole list in front of me right now. It is on their website. And if you want to find out more about those subjects, please do get in contact, and I will tell you as much as I can, or one of my colleagues will. And obviously they have the subjects like media and journalism. So the subjects that you can find in quite a lot of universities, but here they are at a very, very high level. So you do have to remember that they do have requirements are not low there, and it is quite a prestigious university in my opinion. Okay, so some of the subjects that you can study there are, for example, aerospace engineering. And I mean, every country has engineering, but in England, there's a big opportunity to study engineering that's a bit more specific to some sort of field. And this university offers different types of engineering. It's just this one, I kind of thought it was very appealing, very interesting, because as I mentioned before, it's not like you can find it everywhere. And I mean, I think there probably are some people who would be interested in that. Animal behavior and welfare. So that is basically, if we would name it in a more simple way, I would say animal psychology, but it's a lot more includes in that subject. But this is, let's say, a simplified explanation of it. And the university has very good connections with the Bristol Zoo, and they have a lot of like courses connected to animals, like different types. So anyone who's interested in working with animals in the future, I would 100% recommend like studying there. And at the moment, I am living in Poland and I'm working as a student advisor at Student Financial Support Fund in Poland. And I've noticed that a lot of people who do love animals a lot here, they would prefer to go do veterinary, which is a good option as well. But I do think there are other courses that you could study because, there's a lot of things you could do with those degrees, in my opinion. And veterinary is just one, but there's like even like animal behavior. You should know that if you want to work with animals. Okay, animal management, for example, audio and music technology. So, for people who are interested in the music industry, but perhaps you don't really want to sing, or perhaps you don't want to perform, so you want to know everything that happens behind the scene. Or maybe you do want to perform, but you at the same time you do want to know what's happening behind the scenes, so you can always do your own things. You can manage your sound and everything, so there will be no problems, and you be the expert in your own field. Automotive engineering, as I said, they have quite a lot of different engineering subjects. Environmental science. So this is a subject that is very good for people who are interested in geography. Let's say it's in the same kind of category of subjects. So if you are thinking of doing geography, please do look at environmental science as well, because that might be a bit more appealing to you. They do have quite a lot of different IT subjects. The one that really caught my eye was forensic computing and security. Mainly because when I was a lot younger, I did want to study criminology and forensic science. I did not attend, but still, and I think it's quite interesting. And especially, there's a lot of countries where you can study IT at a very high level, but it's usually just IT. That's all you study. And if you want to specialize, you kind of specialize after you go get a job, you get experience. While England offers this possibility of already straight away specializing in something. But if it's not what you're interested in, but I do think this is a very good course. And the fact that they have a lot of IT courses, I didn't write all of them out because honestly, too many of them. Games technology for people who are interested in games. Mathematics and statistics. I mean, I personally am not that interested in mathematics and statistics, but I have not actually seen a lot of universities offer that course, and I thought it might be interesting. And I do know this is a very useful course, and I'm 100% sure that getting a job after this course, especially in some very competitive field, is probably quite easy. Then they have property development and planning. They have robotics. So, if you're interested in robots, which I think you should, because this is a very popular subject at the moment. Wildlife ecology, urban planning. So, there's different subjects, but there's also the kind of, more classical subjects that you can find in different other universities. But I do want to stress the point out that I mentioned before, is that these subjects at this University of West England in Bristol, they're very, very high quality. And the way it is shown is that their employability rate, which means, the graduates after they finish their bachelor degree, they are one of the most employable. So the percentage of the graduates being employed after 6 months of leaving university is very high. In England, that's how they look at it. So after 3 months, they call you and they ask, how's it going? Do you have a job? And then after 6 months, and that's how they do that kind of percentage. So I'm actually going to read it out to you what I found, because I think it's very interesting. So as I already said, the employability rate is amazing, and they're very famous for that. But the fact that caught my eye was that their score percentage is higher than some of the Russell Group universities. And Russell Group universities are considered to be very good, very prestigious. And I mean, I did not kind of think about that way, because this is my job and I do a lot of research about it. And I've always seen that the employability rate was high and higher than those universities, but in my head I didn't put it all together oh, this is the Russell Group universities. So yes, and some of the universities that the employability that are lower in terms of the employability rate are, for example, Bristol University, Warwick University, London School of Economics. And University of West England Bristol is higher in terms of employability than London School of Economics. And you do realize then that their courses are very good, because, I mean, the comparison, because everyone knows what London School of Economics is. That is a very famous place to study. University of West England is quite famous, maybe not at the same level, but their students are more employed. It's easier for them to get a job. The main reason for that is their courses are very, very practical. They are, very based on the industry. So whatever is changing in the industry, they will change the course to that. So you're not going to study something that's relevant at that point. Also, the courses, a lot of them, I would say, I think 99% of them, They do offer this possibility of kind of having optional modules or subjects. So that means you can kind of construct your course a little bit. So for example, if you're studying, business, you can choose the optional courses to maybe make it a bit more specific about something, and you can focus more on the things you're interested in. So, usually when a person is studying something they're very interested and passionate about, they succeed. And I think this is where this university got everything very right. And I mean, the numbers are quite amazing. It's 69, yeah, 60, oh, I'm sorry, 96. 96% of the graduates are in work after their graduation. That's a very high number. So, I mean, at this moment, when I meet students, a lot of them do ask me, like, will it be possible to get a job after studying this subject or at that university? And, I can 100% say that studying at the University of West England in Bristol, you will get a job. So I would 100% recommend this university to everyone. And if you're watching this video, I do recommend checking that university out as well. So some of a bit more maybe interesting facts. I usually like to check out any famous people that studied at universities. I don't know, that's my little thing that, it's like, whoa, I know who studied where. So I'm gonna read out some of the famous people. You might not know all of them because some of them are British, some of them are politicians. And also I might not be able to pronounce all of the names. So I do apologize for that. But for example, Russell Howard, who is quite a famous comedian in England, he studied there and he's very funny. But, again, I'm like, oh, I know that guy. So Miranda Hart, she's also a British comedian. She's been on different shows and you've probably seen her. I think you've probably even seen Russell Howard. You just maybe don't know the name of those people. Samantha Cameron, that is the wife of David Cameron, and also she is a business executive. Bear Grylls, so the very famous adventure guy / TV presenter that goes into the wild and tries to survive on whatever he has. He studied there. So now I don't really know how to pronounce the name. It's Lee Chi Leong. That's Malaysia's Deputy Home Minister. Lady Davina Lewis, member of the British royal family, also studied at University of West England Bristol. And Leung Chun-ying, the chief executive of Hong Kong. And that means he's the president of Hong Kong. That's how they call the president, chief executive. So, I mean, honestly, I think when you have people like that who graduated from the university, I think it just shows the quality of the university. And I think if you're still struggling to decide what you want to study, or maybe what university you should choose, I do recommend choosing this University of West England. The location is amazing, and obviously your rent will be cheaper than London. Their facilities are state of the art. They have been, they're academically very good. The student satisfaction is excellent. The employability rate is amazing. And they are one of the top universities. They are in the 150 universities of the world under 50 in the Times ranking, which means the university itself is younger than 50 years, but they're in the 150 ranking of the world. Again, that shows, how good they are. Yes, so I would really like to add some pictures of Bristol and the university and what they have. Unfortunately, I will not be able. I will try to post them on some of our Facebook pages, a little bit maybe of an introduction. So, I mean, you could go down and, press in the link and check our Facebook, and maybe you'll see something you like and get in contact with us so we can help you. I do apologize. This was a bit of me mumbling a lot, mainly because I do have some of the like notes on this side, and I have to look straight and there. But don't worry, next time it'll be better. But yes, so if you do consider studying abroad, please get in contact. As I said before, our services are completely free of charge. So we can have a consultation, we can have, a chat, I can, or one of my colleagues, we can, advise you what to study. Because also sometimes, like in your country perhaps, there are not as many courses that you can study. So you don't even know about all of the possibilities that you could do. Or for example, you have a goal that you want to become, I don't know, the CEO of Disneyland, but you don't know exactly how to get there. What would you need to get there? What would you need to study? And we can help you with that. We can give you advice, like what kind of degree would help you to reach your goal. So yes, for the millionth time, get in touch, and we will help you as much as we can. We'll share our experience, and we will do anything to make your like process of applying to a university in another country as easy as possible. So thank you for watching. This video, as I said before, will be on YouTube, well, until we decide that we don't like it and we delete it, but we won't. So yes, tomorrow we will be having another like live stream about Lincoln University. I also recommend checking that out. It's again very good university, but I'll tell you about it tomorrow. And well, thank you for watching, and I do hope I kind of made that university a little bit appealing and you found this video interesting. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.